What is going on, everyone? We have a disgruntled Houston Texans player, and his name is Steven Nelson. Over the past couple of days, he has been sending some shots on Twitter. He sent a direct shot at Nick Caserio. He sent a direct shot at Dameon Pierce. And 15 minutes ago, he just put out a tweet implying that either he wants to get released and he's pushing that agenda, or the Houston Texans have already released him and they haven't announced it yet. We're going to discuss all this next, but before we do, welcome everyone to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content. Follow me on Twitter at 713HSP. On Instagram, it is 713 Houston Sports. Now, I think this all stems from Steven Nelson winning a second contract for the Houston Texans. A big final payday. Steven Nelson is getting up there in age. He signed a 2-year deal with the Houston Texans in the offseason, and in my opinion, he played quite well. When Derek Stingley went down, it was Steven Nelson who stepped up and made plays for this Houston Texans secondary. I said it all throughout the season and throughout the offseason that Steven Nelson was one of the only few bright spots for this Houston Texans defense. So it made sense. It made sense why he wants a payday. And all throughout the offseason, he made it known that he wanted to be a Houston Texan for the future, was retweeting pictures of himself in Texans uniform, was liking everything, and now it looks like Steven Nelson no longer wants to be a Houston Texan. This was from his Instagram a couple of days ago. I can't trust a MFer that wear these for every day of the week, clown freak, with a nice blue vest on there. It is no brainer that he is talking about our general manager, Nick Caserio, who every time he is in front of the camera has on a different vest. This is a direct shot at our general manager, and we are just waiting to see how Nick Caserio responds. It would be so funny if he went out there in a press conference with one of the brightest vests that he owns. But Steven Nelson didn't stop there, right? And this is one where I kind of took personal. All this hype to miss the Super Bowl, capital cap laughing emojis. I think the main idea or the main theme for this offseason, this season, has been excitement, has been hype, has been the love of football is back in the city of Houston. So to hear one of your veterans tweet something out like this, it is very discouraging. It makes me not want to put him out there. Why even play the game if the Super Bowl is not in the end goal? Steven Nelson is just not doing himself any favors, and I was excited to see what he did this year under new head coach DeMeco Ryans and defensive coordinator Matt Burke, and it doesn't stop there. He put out another tweet with a picture of Dameon Pierce and someone on his shoulder who looks like Hannah McNair, the owner's wife of Cal McNair. However, some people are saying it is her sister, Joanne. I'm not too sure, but for Steven Nelson to put out this type of tweet and it says, DP, my doggy, this photo cringy/trim, it just doesn't look good. It shows that you are not bought in. It shows that you don't want to be a part of the Houston Texans. And to me, it's only a matter of time before we hear that Steven Nelson is released. Steven Nelson, I'm sorry. And then, like I said, 15 minutes ago, y'all ain't passed the news yet. What are we waiting on? Trying to start my weekend right. It sounds like he and the Houston Texans have already come to an agreement about his release. I am disappointed by the way Steven Nelson's tenure ended with the Houston Texans. I do expect him to be released maybe tomorrow, but once again, another guy who after they got paid is asking for more money. So good riddance, Steven Nelson. You don't need this type of bad, juju in the locker room. I'm not going to call Steven Nelson a locker room cancer, but you do not want that type of energy around a young football team when we are trying to start on the right page. You guys let me know how you feel about all this. Go Houston Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.